Jared Samuelson. Yeah, that's going to... I think that's just done enough to count. It's like 3 shots. Guys just discussing options there. It's like they've decided on a forehand draw. You can see Gary just giving an indication of where he'd like Aaron to try and draw to. Pretty close to the weight. May have made third shot a bit closer, but definitely at least 2 still to Burke. Just taking a little bit of weight off here. He'll turn that bowl across the centre though, so may have taken any option away of a running shot there. So Aaron Tees certainly on a tighter line than his first. Will it get past the front? It has. Oh, what a fantastic effort. Touch of the jack's probably just taken him outside that shot bowl. So definitely that back bowl of Burke, a yellow sticker. One of the other good things they've done here, Andrew, is giving all the sides coloured stickers for the event, so it makes our job nice and easy, and hopefully everyone watching on at home, and you'll see that's reflected in the scoreboard. So Willie Orchard's side with the yellow stickers and Gary Kelly with the blue. We'll update those colours each and every round, depending on who comes onto the streaming game.
I think there's 6 different sets of colours.
Great idea.
Look, Anthony's done a wonderful job in the bowls office here at Club Dubbo. Does a very good job in organising all of their events.
Gary's going to get caught on the front, but does wiggle forward. Well, not much being said. I think he may have done enough for shot. Just looking out the window, Corey gave him a little thumbs up there, so maybe 1 to Arilla. As Willie just hopes for Ben from there. Needs to be perfect weight to have a chance. It's just going to be a little bit over.
Well, I don't think Gary can play that shot again.
The bowl's not quite there to come off. You have to try and cold draw outside these front ones now. We believe Gary holding 1. He's trying to get a little wiggle again. Well, 1 to Wirrilla. Gary Kelly's side. They go out to a 3-1 lead after 3 ends. Clear change of tactics straight away. Barry Lester had the jack at the previous end in this direction and was almost tee to tee. Hasn't moved the mat far at all. However, the jack, a good 7 or 8 metres shorter. Okay, that would be about a 24 metre jack length here, roughly.
Well, Rilla boys seem to be favouring the narrower hand on the wind's blowing towards, going this direction.
Yeah, good correction on weight. It's interesting. Barry's first bowl in this direction when they played previous way was on the wide side, and then that was blocked for bowl number 2, so went back to this tight side. Seems to be where he's more comfortable at the moment. You see back a screen there, big discussions going on with Barry and Aaron. He's certainly talking about the rink, where they think they can get an advantage.
I reckon they're saying, what do you reckon they're going to serve for lunch today?
Well, Corey Wedlock would have been part of that discussion if that's what was going on. Good effort there from Corey. George with a good one last end. Completely new length to go to. Put the ball out on a nice line. A little bit short of weight.
Corey is going to the wider hand.
He corrected on weight really well here. Right in behind the jack. It's going to be an awkward look from the mat end too, with George's bowl out in front. Oh, he's corrected the weight nicely here, just played on a different line. See that bowl coming right back. Pretty well jack eye. Teasy urging it to slow a little. Doesn't want to open this up. Nudge the jack a little, but may have just opened up a shot on the narrower side here for Jared on his back end. He's using Insight Dreamline XGs. Size 3s. If he works in under this front, well, that could be enough. Oh, just drop back.
Do you think... Well, Gary still says it too, but do you reckon they might just follow him down that backhand side, try and just get a little bit, 8 inches maybe out of the jack, bring in the back 2.
Yeah, be just trying to trail it, as you said, to either one of Corey's bowls. Just sitting behind. Oh, I don't think it's going to come back for Aaron. Yep.
Really has hung there, hasn't it? There's a bit of breeze pushing him out that way.
Yeah, just kicked up a little bit now, that breeze, hasn't it?
Yeah, the flag standing somewhat proudly. He's a little blustery too. It just sort of drops off a little bit. See, Jared's got a much tighter line than Teasy had. And he's just going to hold with a little bit of weight as well. Probably hasn't made it easier for the Burke boys there. Burke boys can try and play to turn Jared's bowl up. If they get a piece of that jack, they could be in trouble as well.
As you said, though, be backhand here for Gary Kelly. Indication before that bowler Barry Lester's was just kicked across. He was holding 1, maybe 2. We'll see what it is now. Well, I fear that's just on the wide side as well. You can see by the hand gestures.
The good news is for Gary, he's got the best back with that one.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't as much wide as he was quick. Down there. Oh, this is going to be Willie trying to navigate past George's bowl. If he misses the front, he's close. Oh. Well,
just got around that. I think he might have just turned that shot of Jared's up to be shot.
It was very close, wasn't it? Gary, how's he looking here?
Oh, I think
he's a bowl wide. And just carrying probably a fraction more pace than he would have wanted.
Yeah, didn't want to be back there. I think he only wanted half that distance back from the jack. So probably only 3 feet heavy, 2 feet heavy.
Just wondering if they're going to look right up underneath George's bowl here and take a chance.
We go quick.
Trying to remove a few of these bowls.
You got a bit of protection. You get that one of that Corey's.
And it is. It's trying to be up and under. And this is close. He can get a few of these bowls out here. One's just locked in.
Turned back.
Could have played it much better than that. I didn't quite see an indication. Andrew, I don't know if you did.
No. Might have to watch the scoreboard.
I thought maybe it was only one. Watch this one again. You can see Willie trying to come to this blue bowl. If he gets the blue bowl through the others, maybe he just gets it right in the middle, and two of them stay in there. I think one to Gary Kelly.
We'll put one on and then keep an eye on the scoreboard.
We'll update that if need be.
No, they've got nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, correct. At this stage, they've forgotten that duty. So that's a work in progress. Is Kurt Dixon's first bowl. Nestled up alongside the jack. I wonder if Kurt changed just due to Barry's bowl being there, or it's a conscious change to move hands. Barry Lester played this very well. Tips Kurt's bowl out to be one to Barry. Interesting sub. Similar length to last end. Kurt just going to get the wrong side of Barry's bowl. Just one down with a couple of seconds.
I always find Corey Wedlock's delivery very interesting. It's everything comes into motion and rolls forward.
Yeah, he draws a good one there. Very much so. It's a modern style delivery, isn't it, with that momentum and body weight pushing forward.
He does look very stable at the point of delivery, though. That's
quite the desired result there for the Burkeyes, but they've turned one of their own in behind.
It's now in a very handy position.
Corey just missing underneath there with nice weight. I think that's going to be more of the plan that you'll see with these guys. They start to see what's happening on that narrower side, that it's better off to just miss tight on a lot of occasions. More chance of the bowl just holding up than drawing back if you're wider. As we see jack movement there from George. Bowl on a jack. Kicked it back a couple of metres.
Well, it'll count.
If you're watching on, that bowl of Aaron's about 1.5 metres short of the jack. It's giving an indication of the room to get in. Jared Semison has drawn shot. Pretty well jack high. That will be number one. Aaron T's great correction. He's about half a bowl beyond jack high. Jared just looking for the same weight as his first. He's certainly on a bit of line.
Yeah, good second.
Gary Kelly coming down on that nice line that we saw Tees play on. Just wants to go a little further. Quite tell yet whether that counts. Indication there from Jared was just to try and draw in. Yeah, just looking out. I think it definitely is 2. Now it's a Kelly's combination. Well, he just passed there. Now, I was just going to double check here on what the shots are. If you've just joined us, it is a respot format. So at this point in time, you'll see the Burke combination holding 3 on the respot. As Aaron Tees indicates, it is 2. That's the discussion. Yeah, they're going to try and get down towards the tee. Can't see there at the moment. There it is. You can see a straight path there to the jack. If Willie Orchard wants to try and find it to kill the end. So Gary looking to get past these back bowls. Yeah, he's done that. That will be the closest to the respot. You see it just come into view there at the bottom of your screen. Decision time here. The call might be to still play weight at it anyway. If you do put it at the respot, you'll reduce the count by 1 or try and get one of the shot bowls out. Very tricky to try and draw the shot there around the front. We'll get that last end confirmed here in a moment because I can see Gary Kelly in the background just updating the scoreboard for us. Looks like Willie just trying to draw the shot. That's a super effort. Will it pull up in time for second? I think it will. This might be just one. Yeah, one shot to Gary Kelly. Good effort there by Willie. Just about drew that. And it is 5-1. So thankfully we got that one right on end number 4.
We do it occasionally. Have to educate your club mates to signal a lot clearer, Leroy. Often what happens is though that the players they know what it is and the skips know what it is, so that they don't be overly demonstrative with their signals. Sort of quick, yep, that was what it was, and a shout down.
You get a lot of verbal rather than the signals that we like to see when we're trying to provide people with the update at home that are watching on. I see Barry starting well again. It's really going to be important for both Kurt and George Dixon up front here for Burke to respond, and right on cue. Kurt draws a fantastic bowl right in behind. They are a chance of causing the upset here today. They're going to have to do some work up front to pressurise this side, force them into playing those difficult running shots. They missed there on end number 2. Okay, just looking for this bowl to turn right back. Coming back in now with the breeze. Here it comes. Well, there 2 fantastic shots by Kurt Dixon. You probably have first and third after that. Corey, yeah, just a really good weighted bowl. Just maximise the chances of getting a result. He worked off his teammate's bowl. Up for shot. George with an opportunity though. Similar type of shot to what Corey just played. Sit on the shot bowl. If you miss, get in behind. Give yourself a chance later on.
It's available both hands too, really, isn't it?
He's just missed the weight there. He said if you miss the shot, so be it, but really needed to miss past there. Be taken away that chance of resting that bowl on the back end, the right side of the screen as we look. Is Corey going to open it up? No, he slips underneath that bowl. Really like to see George play with a metre or two more than his last. Hopefully he can just miss his own and pop Corey's bowl out, or finish in behind. Really get to that good area.
He'd prefer him to play a nice tight line too, so that he's got the chance of popping his own bowl out of the way. He's going to come to a good home.
Absolutely. At least he's got in behind there. So, as we mentioned earlier, Aaron Tees has changed manufacturers, but I might try and get you to get a close-up of him. His next delivery, Andrew, he hasn't changed his style with the tongue hanging out the mouth. That hasn't changed. Despite using the new bowls today.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it, but you can. I don't think we've got a photo of him delivering without the tongue hanging out.
That's because I don't think it happens. Once again, the guys just trying to work their way back in. Just going to get to the wrong side. Might have done enough. It's going to be close there for shot. Still some opportunity on the other hand now.
Oh, we just got it. We'll have to replay that one.
Aaron, will he hold? Not quite. Okay, so guys from Burke here with an opportunity. Chance to... Oh, well, they're going to stay on the same side. I thought he might have looked to get to the wedlock green and white bowl on the other side of the rink. So just going to work through their own here at the front. Get a couple of turns on that. Yeah. Just as planned. Rolled that one up to count. And Andrew's lined up a replay. What have we got here?
Well, this is a rare occurrence. This is something you never see. Teesy's heard you, I reckon, and the tongue was in the mouth.
Okay. They cross over. I think it's Burke holding. Very hard to tell. And that Jack High bowl, here just to the left side. Gary Kelly, chance of trailing. Bowl or Jack here. Where's it going to end up? And it's spat out the side, and that is quite a few shots for the Warilla guys. So all of those tricolour bowls to the right all belong to them. Looks like it could be as many as 4. And this is not going to be an easy one to draw out of for Willie. And this narrower side, if he's perfect weight, he's a chance of coming back.
Well, now you got best back. Would you be tempted just to go flat stick and try and get rid of as many as you possibly could?
I think the percentages are far more in line with that being a better option. See, the call from Aaron Tees was to draw underneath our shot bowls more towards Barry's. Doesn't want to open this Jack up. That's probably where he didn't want to draw to. He has counted. It is 5, as you see, from Aaron Tees. Important you don't get this one too wide. Willie, give it a chance. Oh, it needs to bend. I fear he sent it out there.
Just choked a little on that one, I think.
Just pushed it out to the side. It just doesn't bend.
Keep the same weight as the previous and play through.
So it is 5. To Gary Kelly's side. Fantastic conversion.
Yeah, I think he might have been better off just to play a nice tight line on that hand. Try and sit the shot bowl or trail the Jack back to his previous. And if you come in underneath, you've got a chance to sit and stay for second or third.
Yeah, it would have been... Yeah, I thought even the aggressive shot with the first one was an option. Gary Kelly actually opened that Jack up, didn't he, with his last, to give him a good, nice view of it, but probably hasn't had too many conversions down that side himself. wasn't quite sure of the line, and that's what can happen. So you really need to be aware, even watching your opposition's bowls, where they're going, to know that that side quite tight with weight against the breeze.
Oh, I wouldn't call it a free hit, but it was certainly a much easier hit than he had previously. The last bowl.
So 4 straight ends here now for Gary Kelly's side. 3 singles and that big score of 5 on end number 6. Just looking, they've played a very similar jack length these last few ends with varying mat positions. See something they've spoken about around about this 24-25 metre length that we see here this end. They've done it a couple of times with the mat in a similar spot to this. They've also done it with the mat right back on the tee and had a sort of middle to middle approach with the lines, the mat and the jack.
It's probably that they're backing themselves to be able to draw from any position and hoping to not allow their opponents to settle into a rhythm.
Well, I like that they're playing the same length and just giving their opposition a different look of where the mat and jack are placed each end. So Barry would be communicating that jack roll felt the same, similar length to what we have been. They're just trying to work over any advantage they can, try and get their opponents out of rhythm, because to be fair, the guys from Burke have played reasonably well. They've had a couple of good bowls at least in their every end. Once again we see Kurt with a good one in nice and close, and George has just caught the wrong side of Corey's but fallen in behind. So 3 matches each and every day, Andrew, while we're here, all 15 ends.
Yep. Respot. If the jack goes out of bounds or rebounds too short or is propelled over the top of the bank, which I suppose is out of bounds as well. You don't have a dead end, we have a respot. I'm a bit pedantic though, I don't like the statement no dead ends, because a dead end is still possible. Just not through movement of the jack. Or valid movement of the jack. Have seen a dead end in a World Cup Championship match, a World Indoor Singles, where there's sets play and a respot in place. It was a drive from a neighbouring rink that come through and took all 3 of the closest bowls out and moved the jack. And the players said, "I've got no idea who was shot. We don't want to do it," so it was a dead end.
Okay. That's something you'd see all that often, is it?
Once in 40 years I've been playing bowls. That we've had a
Wheeler holding 2. Call from Gary was to try and get past his bowl and cover. Well, he's actually caught it. An opportunity here, play some weight, work through the front, remove some bowls.
No rest for Gary, Corey and Aaron either, is there, on the weekend? Got to get back to playing zone singles, state singles championship.
Yeah, that's right. So Jared turning that one over. So our vantage point, the yellow and green bowl of Barry Lester is pretty well jack high. It looks still to be the shot. I think it may be only the one though now. Yes, you're right, Andrew. Those 3 guys back into Zone 16 in the Illawarra for Zone Singles this weekend. There's probably quite a few people down that way would be hoping they had the weekend off. Gary going all the way back to the respot here with his first.
Well, it's certainly got the spot covered.
I think those hand signals from Jared, just overweight, try and just get inside the front bowl. Has he got enough weight to hold? Get to the right side of Jared's, he can Well, I just found a gap. Had the weight, I think, that was requested. And that's where Aaron Caesar's called him to go. 2 or 3 bowls there against.
Of course, Lee, I mentioned they're going to travel to play in the zone singles. A little segue to just reiterate our recent announcement that the state championships next March will be presented in a partnership with the Dubbo City Council, Club Dubbo, Macquarie Dubbo, and
here we go. Sorry to interrupt, Andrew. That worked off the bowl. Jack has moved slightly to the side. And it's still 1 to Gary Kelly's side. What a great effort there by Willie. Gave his bowl, both of those bowls, a good chance. $11 shots to 1. Just about halfway through our opening match. City of Dubbo, International Fours. If you're just joining us, $125,000 to be given away over the course of this event. As you'd imagine, that's attracted plenty of local talent as well as sides from all around the country and even an international side from Fiji to come and compete.
Well, it's a lovely tight line. It looks like a very good line as well. Oh, he's just going to go under. Just out of shot. The Calcutta last night, our MC jokingly said Ben Twist was the best looking man in bowls. I think there might be a few people beg the difference, say Barry Lester gets that title. He certainly played some very good lead bowls so far, and that's not a bad reply at all. Well, neither skip would be unhappy with that at any level.
We're a holding shot, but I think will he be too upset with where Kurt's 2 bowls are finished there. And straight away you can see Corey Willock trying to match those 2 bowls up.
Oh. Well, probably a little unlucky that it's run off those and come back up the green. They're still available for a little trail. A tight hand, just reaching up to Corey's bowl. You sit Corey's bowl, a little chunk on that jack, it spits back. Just don't want to be wide.
Hopefully he learns from that. A little bit quick, a little bit wide.
Well, he's come back over the centre line, so just that probably good. A little bit wide, but not much.
Corey making a conscious effort here to stay on the left-hand side of centre line, out to those bowls. Not a bad effort. And there's our MC from last night. You can see him in the background there. This is Steve Glasson, playing on the neighbouring rink.
I didn't recognise him without his walking frame. I shouldn't joke about Steve unless he's actually in earshot, because he does enjoy a joke.
It's easy with his first. Looks to be just under the line to get to those bowls.
It's handy.
Still holding a couple, but that bowl is a really good guide, I think. To be getting to the shot bowl or to that small trail of the jack, you need to be under that line anyway, where Aaron's bowl's finished. And indeed, you can see Jared lining up on his back end. Yeah, nice tight line. He's played this side of the green very well when he's been forced onto it. Close to a result here. Oh, that's about the worst possible result. Very unlucky. You just need to reflect on that. No, you've put it in the right area. Try and play something similar with you next. So you see Aaron on a much better line here. This will work its way into the count. That'll be three shots.
Oh, we see some aggression. I think he's indicated reaching.
There'll be no less weight than your first. Just pick whether you play the same weight or whether you play weight to the tee or whether you play full weight right through to the ditch. Three options here. Make sure the communication's right. You pick the one that's going to be most beneficial. Looks more like tee kind of weight.
Yeah, just
missed the line though.
Oh, really, what did you not want to do was push the bowl back to cover the tee?
Well, there is a Burke bowl of George Dixon's in behind that, so it is still Burke holding the one closest to the tee. The bowl you did see of Corey Wedlock's is finished just in front of that, so shot bowl to the tee, belonging to Burke still. George Dixon's probably about 2 metres or so from the respot mark. See it there on screen. Thanks, Andrew. So Gary just on the draw. Too worried about the respot, trying to cover up this jack. A couple of bowls have laid down. Indication from Corey's that they're holding 4.
Oh, backhand runner again, I think is the thing. Even big weight.
Yes, I think so. There's not much chance of the jack moving through clean, so in all likelihood it's going to rattle around there. Hopefully Kurt realises for us in a moment that he's right on view with the camera. If he is, we'll try and call it from out the window for you to let him know he's close, and he has realised. Thanks, Kurt. Oh, that weight.
Doesn't want to be wide.
Can he move Aaron T's bowl through the jack here? What's going to happen? Hell, there it is. Luck's of fortune, and that will be Burke now holding shot. Not the intended result. It's hard to begrudge the guys getting a bit of luck. They've had a few unfortunate results the last couple of ends.
Well, he's been stiff a couple of times, been there or thereabouts and not managed to improve things.
Gary urging this one forward. Not quite going to be. Okay, now's your chance. You've got a fortunate one. I think you've got to try and take the chance. Yep, trail the jack a couple of feet. If we move the jack down to his toe, it'll be 4 or 5 shots here. Any hope of winning this game, you need to look for these multiples. And well called there from Jared. Well, he's on a reasonable line. Can he get right up to the jack?
He hasn't got the speed to trail it, but he's got the speed to get another.
He's going to count. That'll be 2. Burke turned the scoreboard over.
So do you know who we got next up, Lee?
Next match on our streaming coverage is I search for the draw on rink number 2. Rink number 6 in round 2. Get that for you in a moment.
Oh, it's another good start from Kurt.
Okay, so we have Nick Wrigley, Kim Shepherd, Craig Ferguson and Mark Wrigley from South Australia. And they'll be up against Ann Johns, Greg Helm, Callum Murray and Mason Lewis from Engadine.
Wow. Aussie.
Good little mix up there. Engadine and New South Wales playing against the South Australian combination led by Mark Wrigley. Looking forward to that one.
So we've got four 4 people who have represented New South Wales at one level in the Engadine team. And, of course, has been in the Australian system. Current state Keno New South Wales Blue. Mozzie, of course, in the state side as well. And Squiddy and Helmy have both played under 25s. Helmy's was quite some time ago, though.
Yeah, not in the same side, I don't think they were, Callum and Greg.
No.
A couple of good ones there, again from Barry, starting to dominate. Getting 2 bowls thereabouts every single end.
I think Callum might have been a chance for the under 10s when Helmy played his last under 25s game.
Just trying to sit on the bowl or trail the jack there. It's George, but just working its way through the gap. Corey trying to draw it again. This will be probably 4 shots. It's just relentless pressure, Andrew, isn't it? Just bowls in and around there all the time. Jared, he's a chance here. Can he get right way back to the jack? Oh, he's going to find that gap again. Finished only half a metre, 3/4 of a metre from the jack. I'm not quite sure if he's reduced the count.
Green's not lightning here. Be a reasonable pace without being overly quick. They're certainly not slow.
Yeah, probably 13.5 or 14, just sort of looking from our vantage point.
But 3 quite warm days predicted. In fact, Saturday's predicted to get up to 31 here in Dubbo. But we expect by Friday, in the finals of this competition, that we will have greens getting pretty quick.
Aaron doesn't want to touch the jack. Played that very well. Super shot there from Aaron Tees. This could be forming a huge count here. There's potential there for every single one of the Warilla team's bowls to be in the count at the moment.
And not a lot on for Willie.
He's got to back himself to beat that little pack of bowls just in behind there. Good second shot. He's definitely on the line. As his weight, maybe underweight as well. A big count brewing. Interesting situation, isn't it? They broke that run of ends and basically thrown the same jack length that the Rilla guys had played the previous ends before that. Well, that just needs to make up your mind. Let's just go hard and fast up the front here. Willie on the mat and Jared trying to call him in a shot.
I'd be tempted to go forehand flat stick for Corey's bowl on the centre line.
He's trying to play the tricky one to cut out the counters. He's not quite going to get around the pack. Can he wiggle through the gap? Not quite. Still going to be a few here. Aaron just going in to have a look. Signals I can see is that it's about half a dozen there at the moment. Gary can just turn his own bowl once or just around himself. You sit on this bowl of Barry Lester. He's going to wiggle past. Well, Barry was even urging that one to drop down, so if that one's a chance of counting, maybe 7 potentially here. I was just in having a look.
I think that was a 7 they signalled.
Just get that confirmed. Willie's just updating the scoreboard for us at the moment. So, and 9 ends played and it's 17-3. So 6 on that previous end. I think if they watch this match back, the guys from Burke, I'd love for them to have some consideration about where they place the mat and the jack there. We mentioned the Warilla guys had won 5 straight ends leading up to that. Well, he got that fortunate runner the last time we played in this direction. And then they've played mat and jack, that very similar 24, 25 metre length that the Warilla guys have been dominating on. And unfortunately, through no conversion shots, it was just all draw shots into the head. They've picked up a 6. Toucher there with Barry's second one. Kurt Dixon onto the mat. Changed hands during the game too. He's got size 4 edge factors. Holding a very tight line on that side against the breeze. And just the way the heads are setting up, it's allowed Corey to just work his way on what he feels is more favourable for him on the wider side of the green. Been quite a few ends now since he's played a bowl down the narrow side. Just consistently building heads on that side of the green. George just coming through there. Green maybe starting to free up a little bit. Get a few feet quicker. That's a super shot from Corey Wedlock. Turned Barry's bowl further across, blocking the jack, and snuck past himself.
And all but a toucher
for the shot bowl. And George on a similar line here to his first. It's going to cut a couple out. His third shot. Be worth mentioning again if you're new to the coverage. Takes quite a bit of pride to congratulate a lot of these guys on the rink in the recent World Championships. So Aaron Tees just bowled that last one there. Came away with a silver medal in the pairs and a gold medal in the fours. Corey Wedlock, who played second in the side here, was a dual gold medalist in both triples and fours. And Gary Kelly, a skip who represented Ireland, a narrow defeat and a silver medal finish in the singles, and a gold medal as part of the Irish side who beat Australia in the final in the men's pairs. So, fantastic campaign at World Championships for a lot of these players. Brought that form here this morning. Change of hands here for Jared. He's trying to draw a nice close one up on his backhand. And well, beats that one of Corey Wedlock on the wing. 3 or 4 shots there to the Warilla combination. One of the beauties of our sport, though, as you know, Andrew, we run through the CVs of those players from World Championships. But these guys from Burke have the opportunity to walk onto the rink and play against them. And not too many sports where that occurs. You can get out and play against world champions.
I don't think there'd be any other sport where you could enter a tournament and go out and play against the world champions.
We did mention there are guys from Burke are a little bit nervous coming into the game, knowing the opposition they had. But hopefully they've relished the opportunity. See Willie just trying to make contact at the front. Well, he may be able to roll that one straight through, and he has. Second fortunate result of the game. Jack has finished right in front of the orange bowl there. You can see with the yellow sticker of Jared Samuelson. There were other guys, 4 or 5 second shots. I'm not sure that bowl's going out clean. I'll have a look at the weight that Gary plays here. There are a couple against on the respot as it sits. You must feel there is a line to be able to flick this bowl out. On that occasion, so 1 to Burke. A little under 30 centimetres of room. You can see Jared just calling Willie onto his forehand, trying to beat that yellow bowl. And beats that one. It'll be enough for second.
Just going to be a little under that line, I think. Yeah. 2/3 of the game gone. Oh, what length they're going to roll.
Similar mat position. You would say the jack is a little shorter. One of the last... Look at my notes here. 7 previous ends to this have all been between about 24 and 25.5 metres. Probably back to more 23 metres or so this end. And Kurt started off with a good bowl. He was obviously confident of that one. He turned the back nice and early. He must have knew it was close. Didn't want to watch that one.
Well, he's watching this one and urging it on.
Yeah. Well, there will be a couple of shots. I think everyone watching on will know that will not stay there like that for many more bowls. That's probably not a bad result for Burke, actually. Their bowl turn beyond Jack High.
I don't think Corey will mind that one being turned back either.
Well, George Dixon played a good one there. Yeah, works his way in off his own. See straight away Corey going to his favoured wide side of the green. Working off Barry's. That's going to be enough for shot. Amazing, isn't it? There's so many bowls there of Corey's throughout this game. He's just given himself those extra opportunities, be able to work in off bowls, get those edges, and nestle in for shot. Well, it's a good effort there from George. I think there's still one down, the Burke combination, but they're starting to build up. Good collection of bowls to the left-hand side of the rink. Corey, a really good shot there. Be really happy where that's finished. So 1, 2, Wirrilla. Option here on Jared's forehand. A couple of their own bowls coming in or working underneath. Trail the jack or sit the shot bowl. Unfortunately, he's just missed the line on his first. Played the weight to give it a chance, but I was hoping to correct on line with his second if he gets another chance to play the same shot. He's just a bit quick with this one.
Won't be too unhappy to have turned their own bowl up to those, though.
True. Second and third shot here, though, for Burke. Looking at trying to get under the jack now to the shot bowl. Off the front, onto the jack. And it's one. The bowl closest to centre line on the rink. The yellow sticker belonging to Burke will be the shot. The yellow bowl in front of the jack there. About a metre out. Aaron trying to draw around that. He's not going to quite pull up. Looks like one to Burke. So skips crossover.
So if you have just joined the broadcast, we're at Club Dubbo for the Inland Petroleum City of Dubbo International Fours.
See Willie Orcher online for what he wants to do. A couple of metres short of Jack.
I think that'll be good enough from Gary.
Yeah. Guys are clapping that. That's number one. This looks under the line to me. Doesn't want to get to that bowl of Barry Lester's and bring it forward. Put it forward, but his own's wiggled through as well. So, quite sure. There, at least one. To Orilla. And then I think just the one. It is. 18 shots to 4 after 11 ends. No surprise, we are here. Jack basically halfway up the line. The mat halfway up the line. The Jack a couple of metres over the front of the line. Would have been for many ends. And once again, Barry Lester nice and close with his opening bowl. Probably one frustration Barry may have at the moment. He's had a lot of really good bowls that have just landed Jack High. He hasn't quite been able to get perfectly on the centre of the rink as he would like.
I'll say it, Kurt has played some very good lead bowls. And a lot of games he'd have been winning in the lead battle so far. He's up against Barry Lester, who is a world-class bowler.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too many loose ones I can recall from Kurt. Only a handful across the course of the game that have sort of been out of play. There's been almost times like this where two reasonable bowls within a metre of the opposition have just been closer, and there's been a couple of ends like that which has led to some big scores. It's been those two big multiples, hasn't it? Yeah. Gary went to the head down early on in the game, trailed the jack for 4. Willie missed both runners and Gary was able to add another to pick up a 5. And just a few ends ago, just a really good draw shot end led to another 6. Outside of that, it's been very tight. But guys have been able to hang in. Just those couple of multiples have led to the margin we see at the moment.
Well, it's the big numbers that hurt, isn't it?
Format of the tournament, it's an open draw, wins and margins event over the first couple of days. Each of the 36 sides will play 6 matches, 15 ends. The top 8 at the conclusion of that time on wins and margins will be through to the top 8 playoff. There's also playoffs for sides finishing 9th to 16th, and a third competition for 17th to 24th place finishes as well. So it does look like a win to Gary Kelly's side here in round number 1. However, it's in the interest of the guys from Burke to try and reduce the margin as best they can.
Yeah, and they might not be able to get into that top 8 playoff now, but certainly the next bracket's within reach.
Last year's event, you needed a minimum of 5 wins out of the 6 matches to make the playoffs, and there was one side with 5 wins who just missed out and went into 9th. So that's the guideline. 5 wins out of 6 is what these sides will be aiming for. And then the new competition in effect will start on Friday with the top 8 playoffs and the other playoff rounds. Skips crossover. The Jack pretty well level with the 2 yellow bowls. Just on the other side of Corey Wedlock's bowl in the centre of the ring. So it's 3 shots to Gary Kelly's side. I saw a couple of bowls there from Aaron T. He's just protecting. Just to the left-hand side of the screen, you see he's blue and white. There's also another one out of shot that went back towards the tee, covering the re-spot. As Gary Kelly adds another. I'd like to see Willie not muck around with this. Nice and firm with the first one. Open it up. Just don't get too wide. One thing you'll look back on, I think Andrew just missed those conversion shots wide, especially on the back end coming in this direction.
Yeah, look, I think on a green with this breeze, you're probably better off to play that slightly tighter line. If you're going to miss narrow, because you've seen even Gary Kelly here. Played a very safe line, though.
Well, that was deliberate. You might have saw Aaron down on the right-hand side of the screen. You can see that group of yellow stickered bowls in together. Just in case the Jack sprang out there. And even on this narrower line, it's just not quite getting back. You'll pick one out. But it will be 3. To Gary Kelly's side. 21 shots to 4. On the opposite side of things, Gary's combination looking to maximise this margin. I see this as an opportunity. 21 shots to 4. Just to try and win these last 3 ends. They can walk away with a margin into the 20s after round 1. Put them in good stead for the rest of today.
Well, your margin may mean the difference of playing for the big money and the second biggest, or even making a playoff to pick up any prize money at all.
Yeah, that's right.
We did say there was a nice mix in the draw, that the favoured teams seem to cop one or two of the other favoured teams as well, for a lot of them. So your margin's going to be very important, I do feel.
And open draw conducted here at the club last night following the conclusion of the Calcutta. Each team was drawn out and able to come up and select a number off the table. All the numbers were turn over their number, and that was their team number for the week. I really like that idea of the draw being done out in the open. Everyone can see what's happening, and the players themselves come up and draw their own marble, so to speak, and pick their card for the first 2 days of sectional play.
And no, it wasn't managed that we had our World Champions team on the live stream first game. It just happened to be the draw.
A nice mix of players throughout the couple of days. We mentioned earlier it's the side from Engadine and a side from South Australia featuring next up. There's a good effort there from George, just not quite getting past Corey's bowl. So once again, it's Willa. His favoured length. Matt in the middle of the line. Jack just over the front of the line, holding 3 or 4 shots. Really consistent draw bowls here this morning. As Teasy plays the bowl on the Jack, he won't be too happy with that one. It's just bumped it out into the open. And Jared making pay. Just getting caught on that side, aren't they? Once again, really good weight. Not coming back. So a much different line there from Tees. Wanting this one to pull up. Right, better line here. Looks to be Jared Samuelson. Will he pull up in time? Not quite. Great effort. Looks to be 4 at least there for the Warilla side.
Do you think Gary will be trying to draw to sit on the inside of that last bowl?
Looks like just a quick discussion with the guys with the scores. I'm quite sure you can see in the background there, scoreboard slightly different to what we have. Showing 22-4. We've got 21, and I think it's just going to go back to 21 as Willie just goes and changes it for us. So we'll tick that up as a little win for us, Andrew.
I was just about to change it to 22 as well. I thought maybe I'd mucked it up, but
Gary drawing in.
Yeah,
he's got the right weight. That's going to be close to counting.
Whose bowl is it on the centre line short there?
That's a bowl of Burke. So that's an option if he is just under the line. I feel it's a little bit quick again. Just going to find that outside gap.
Don't mind his weight. I just think the grass lines, he needs to go really tight. Try and trail that Jack, and if he's a bit narrow, he's got a chance to turn his own up.
And Gary looking to cover here. Is he, or is he? No, he's just trying to draw a shot, but doesn't want to leave that target on the back and doesn't want to flick off this too far. Well, he'll be reasonably happy with that. Well, that's about as wide as you want to be. You can see Jared pointing that direction. Keep your weight. Sit through Gary's or get to their own short bowl to promote it. He's wide again.
Oh, I wonder whether it would have been worth trying to rumble into Gary's last bowl.
That's right. That's as wide as you needed to be. And the guys will count them up here. Could be two hands in the air once again. Aaron T's not wanting to measure. I suggest by that I think it might be 6. Jared not wanting to measure either. I'm going to have the finger dance all the way around, and then we'll measure eventually. See what's taken out. It's 2, 4. That's 5. More finger measuring going on. Corey does have a tape now in the background. So 5 taken out. They're going to measure for a couple more. That's one might be in. Oh, is it 7? Oh, he teased. He had the look on his face. I think he thought most of his were counting. It was a verbal indication of the skips. Well, he's going to go and change the board for us, so we'll get that exact number for you here in a moment. And it was 6. Right, 2 ends to go in this game. I mentioned the margin that the Willa guys were hoping to get.
Well, you almost think they'll be clubhouse leaders after first round.
Yep, certainly well in contention. Anyway. See, looking in the background there, the Burke guys got a little support crowd there. Getting themselves hydrated for a busy week. As many as 9 games to be played. There's Barry once again. This time he has found the centre of the rink, just in behind on this occasion. And that's definitely Kurt's loosest end of the game. I think the heads have started to drop, unfortunately for the Burke guys. But take what you can out of it. You've had an opportunity to play against 3 current world champions. And obviously Barry Lester not far off that, either just missing Australian selection this year, was a silver medalist at the Commonwealth Games just 12 months ago.
You'd like to be an Australian selector at the moment. You've got to pick 5. It's harder to work out who to leave out than to put in sometimes, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Corey. Do we give him credit to say he's covering the front bowls? Mixing up with those?
We can be that kind, yeah.
Another solid display from Corey. As we said, just building heads. Clear the front. He has. Just
going to slide through.
It's been the story of it, hasn't it? When they have got close, it just hasn't quite been close enough. It's a reasonable line here for Aaron Tees. It's easy with aerodynamic, size 3.5. So with the Henslite Dreamline XGs here for Jared. A relatively similar line to Aaron. He's put it on that line. Has he given it the weight? Not quite.
Not far off. I think if he doesn't get that clip on, it's easy. Then he may have been close to shot.
Just had to miss it, didn't he?
It's easy. Doesn't have to that worry though. If he turns his own, it's good, and if he comes around it, it's good.
Just got to pull up now for Aaron.
He'll be in behind.
The breeze just looking out a little bit stronger now. Strongest it's been all morning. Really whipping across there, left to right on screen. That side of the green as well as going back to playing on these greens last year. It was being a lot wider there. It was also a lot slower, that side of the rink. So you had to be conscious there to really push through, give it that extra weight. You're playing that side of the green. Be interesting to hear from the guys after this game what they feel the green speed was. We'll try and get an indication for you when we come back for round number 2. As Gary adds to the count. That's the boss, number 1.
Must be tiresome to be so easy to bowl like that, Lee.
I think
Where's
so.
the challenge?
I'd love to see Willie draw one here. Right on line. That's the speed. The guy's looking at the back of the rink for respot, but I think it's going back there. Even if it does, Barry Lester's bowl guarantees if the really guys have found a way to have all the shots and all the backward. A bit wider on this occasion. He find his way back, trying hard. Falls down, it might be a chance. Come on, Willie, draw one for us here. I feel like he got it away nicely. A bit wide and heavy. So 1, 2 taken out. 3 removed now. It's like being back at the auction last night here at the Calcutta. We started with 2, we're up to 3. And he advanced on 3. Aaron's going to say it's 4, and it is.
And last end.
So 31 shots to 4. 1 in to go. A short break in between rounds. We'll be waiting for all 3 greens to finish up. And we'll be back for round 2 action. We said it's Mason Lewis's side from Engadine up against Mark Wrigley from South Australia on our featured game. And for these 2 guys, Willie Orchard's side, they'll come up against Nathan Wise from Mount Lewis in round number 2. And for Gary Kelly, they're up against Baldy Frame from Parks.
Baldy was a member of the Parks side that was a Club Challenge Gold level winner. Either the first or second year. They surprised a few of the more fancied opponents. Been some pretty handy bowlers come out of that Parks area. Matt Peterson, a Parks Railway player. 2 clubs in Parks, the Railway and, well, affectionately known as Parks Town, Parks Bowling and Sports. Mick Harry.
I wonder before we finish up our coverage, Andrew, if we can get a look at the flags. I don't know if we can get our cameras around to that position. It might be hard, but they're really starting to blow quite strongly. It's right to left on your screen. I mentioned it all morning. very obvious narrow and wide side with the breeze. I think it's getting even more so the longer we go throughout the game.
What I can do is widen out our headshot.
George Dixon, you're on a good line here. How's your speed? That is the track for that hand.
As we said that, the breeze just drops off.
It's a bit gusty. It's down a little bit from what it was.
You see that Australian flag at the top will flutter out fully.
So Aaron Tees just moving George Dixon's bowl off the running line there. At least one still for Willa as Jared tries to find his way in. Will he stop in time? Well, I think it's still one with Barry Lester's green and gold bowl there. Call for Aaron was to turn your own up. A little bit outside that, you can rest on Jared's bowl. He's put this down a nice line, giving himself options.
Yeah, come down and sit on Barry's bowl. Not cool. Don't
We
know if he
wanted
quite
a little bit
shouts.
more weight.
Yeah, I think the option's probably to play to turn Jared's bowl through.
Jared looks on a reasonable track to himself. So that extra weight won't let him get back unless he works in off those.
Well, there's one way to do it.
He's just gone a little bit too far, so potentially a couple there to the Whirler combination. Green and gold of Barry Lester, the blue and white of Aaron Tees, just to the right of the jack. That'll be your shots. Like you said, Andrew, there's a chance here for Gary to, if he gets just the inside half of that jack high orange bowl, he'll find his way back to the one on the centre line. His own bowl coming in. Urging it on.
Yeah, he's just got draw weight.
He's taking that option out.
How far behind is that Jared Samuelson bowl though?
Good half a metre, maybe a fraction more.
So we could, that one of Gary's may well count.
What part of this bowl's he going to get? Well, he's dropped in.
And Gary maybe should try and take the place of that one.
It'll be hard to get to that one. Or try and lift Aaron Tees' front one up and over, or get to the inside bowls.
Very tight.
You can see the line he's chosen not to get to Willie's bowl. Nice weight. No. Willie Orchard, let's finish with a bang. Probably hasn't had the game he wanted to have this morning. But here's a chance to say you won the last end of the match against this star-studded combination. Nice and firm. Up the middle. Try and get a bit of a rattle. See what's going to happen. He's not going to get the jack. Well, his bowl's gone out of the rink, as has the jack. And it's going to be close, just looking out screen. The edge factor of Kurt Dixon against Barry Lester's green and yellow Optima. We get handshakes here without an actual confirmation. I'm going to suggest it's one to Warilla. Just looking out screen here, hard to tell. We'll go with that for now. Looks like a 32 shot to 4 win for Gary Kelly's side. If you're wanting to keep up with results, look through the West Dubbo or Club Dubbo Facebook page. I'm sure they'll post results at the conclusion of each round. You can see how your favourite teams are going.
But join us again in just a little while for round 2.
It could be 45 minutes or so, roughly from now, once all sides come off their respective 3 greens, come back into the club, record their scores, get their new cards. So about 11 o'clock they're scheduled for, Andrew, roughly?
Yeah, hoping to be on by 11. So we'll be back before too long, and we look forward to your company then. Cheers, everyone, and see you in a little while.
Experience Club Dubbo, family-friendly bistro. Function areas to suit everyone. Enjoy meal specials, raffles, live music and more. Follow us on Facebook for details and visit Club Dubbo today.